In this digital media clip, we're going to look at the power of goals, but in coaching terms, we like to call them well-formed outcomes because of the structure and the conditions we put in place to allow them to land inside the subconscious mind, and therefore use the powerhouse of the subconscious and creative subconscious to help us achieve those goals. So let's start by looking at the size of goals, the chunk size. It appears as if people who can manage big chunk size goals achieve miracles when others just achieve average. I always aim for the biggest and brightest possible goal, because once you have a great goal, something to set your heart on, to put your store behind, other things seem to fall in place to help you achieve it. So the first step is called elicitation. And the simple question is, what do you want? Now, we've already discussed the pros and cons of stating it in the positive, because the picture of reality in our subconscious mind can only imagine an achievable event. The next question is, are you comfortable stating it as if already achieved? Remember, on the creative subconscious model, we looked at the power of a as if already achieved goal creates skull conflict and pushes us towards achieving that goal even harder. The next step is evidence. Describe the world in as many different ways as you can, visually, auditorily, and kinesthetically, using as many sensory resources as possible. And the power of doing it that way is you anchor inside the picture of reality the evidence required to help you achieve that goal, and the evidence required to help you motivate yourself. Evidence is an important part of the journey. The next step in our coaching process for well-formed outcomes is intent. Intent is what you want to be. Who do you want to become? For what purpose? A lot of people say, I want to give up smoking. Well, straight away, give up smoking contains a negative. And we've already talked about the power of a positive goal. So rather than give up smoking or being a non-smoker, again, that's a negative goal, being fit and healthy is a great goal. When you ask the intent question, this is all about, so now you're fit and healthy, who will you become? The next step in our well-formed outcomes process is an ecology check. What are you prepared to give up to get this? And that's a harsh question, because a lot of people don't think they have to give up anything to get their goals. But the reality is, there's only so many hours in the day. They're only one person, whether it's time with their kids, drinking the drinks they like, eating food they like, spending time watching TV. If they're prepared to do something different, there's probably something they're doing right now they have to give up. And that's the interesting challenge. Making sure we do an ecology check about whether the goal is worth the effort. We need to be sure that's what they really truly want. At this point in our well-formed outcomes process, somebody normally is shouted out, but what about SMART? Or what about SMARTer? Or what about a GROW goal? The use of SMART goals is okay as long as you recognize the S for specificity is at this point in our plan very important. It's about chunk size. If the person set themselves a goal which was big picture goal, specificity of the plan is important, because the more detail they put into the ways they can achieve the goal, the more they anchor it inside their picture of reality. The M in SMART is measurable. Planning and measurement go hand in hand. The planning and the measuring is all about making sure we celebrate success, because if you don't enjoy the journey, you can be pretty damn miserable on your way to excellence. The A in SMART is achievable. I think aspirational is a better use of A in SMART. Aspirational goals, goals that literally drive you from the inside out because there's something you truly aspire to be. So as you pull together your plan, the plan should finish at an aspirational point of view, or at least have a few aspirational checking points along the way. The R, rather than being realistic, should be romantic. Fall in love with your goal, fall in love with the person you're going to be, fall in love with the journey and enjoy the journey too. And then finally, putting a time against our goal. And I think that's a good thing, because saying I want to be fit and healthy by a date, I want to be this weight by a date, I want to have achieved so many £1 million by a date. It's like putting a time limit on the subconscious mind's resources to find the answers to our problems. I have a great friend who says things like this to himself: I don't know the answer to this problem right now, but I'm sure my subconscious mind can find the answers by 4 o'clock this afternoon. And funnily enough, 2 minutes to 4, ping, his subconscious mind throws him the answer that he was looking for earlier in the day. It's like the subconscious mind is quite happy to have a time-limiting process. And whether you like it or not, your subconscious mind has a clock all of its own. You set an alarm at 6 in the morning, you imagine getting up at 6 in the morning, and then 1 minute to 6, your subconscious mind wakes you up and says, time to get up now. You didn't even get the alarm. The subconscious mind is great at estimating and using its internal clocks to solve problems too. So when we talk about plans, using SMART as a great acronym for structuring your plans, making them specific, making them measurable, making them aspirational, falling in love with your goal, and then making it time-bounded. All of those things can be wrapped into the plan that supports your well-formed outcome. And then finally, having done a plan, obviously, it's all about action. What are you going to do right now before you leave this session? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do by the end of the week? What are you going to do by the end of the month? Start thinking about the actions and the people you need to involve in helping you achieve this goal straight away. Because the sooner you take a step in the right direction, the sooner you're on your journey to success.